here with a brand new series I'm going to be working on. It's a new adventure. I'm really excited to announce it. I did this once already, and unfortunately my audio was a little off, so I had to delete it, redo it. Thank goodness I don't have any chat that actually watched this. So we're gonna try this again. Here's my tea. So I have talked previously about the independent film work that I've done with my church. Um, how that all got started was that I was talking with our pastor, Jerry Smart, and he was bringing up the idea that, we do these Easter plays every year. The kids get all dressed up. We have these costumes. We put a lot of work and practice, and we're basically doing like a movie, just we don't film it. Now, that's a simplification, and we understood that. But he came up with the idea that why don't we make a movie? So I believe he had a script from somebody he knew called Malchus, Servant of the High Priest. Move this down over here. Sorry. And I'm going to start. Oh, I've already got us all prepared. Just want to make sure. So, Servant of the High Priest. And that one was actually directed by Jerry. He has a good vision for the big project and he can run a movie through his head very well. And then we had a young man named Joshua Roderick, who was our cinematographer, and he did the post-production editing on it. And that he is extremely talented, so good at what he does. He has moved on since that project, though. We do a lot of when we do our movies with the church, they're for free. We don't get paid. We just donate our time, and we work on it on the weekends or weekday evenings. We all have jobs. And so he is trying to make a career out of his film work, and he really should. He's doing stuff for music bands, doing his own shorts, doing commercials for people. It's just extremely talented. If you need anything, you should talk to Joshua Roderick. Hire him. He'll do a fantastic job for you. He's that good. So we did that film. And the blood was boiling. We were excited, and then we decided to make a Christmas film. And in this one, since Joshua Roderick had moved on to do his own thing, we didn't have anybody who knew how to film. So, being that I work with computers, I started to study on how to be a cinematographer and how to be a first AD, and do post-production work, how to edit, what editing software to use, and things like that. So we found a script called The Beginning, which was about a writer who was tasked with updating the nativity story as a play and make it more modern so that the kids could find it hip and funny and exciting, right? And we really leaned in on the fact that it was about a stage play, so we could create sets that were staged, and we tried to not make it look like we were filming it. We did okay. It was my first time learning. Shot it with a GH2, I believe. My lovely wife Gina, she got me the G1 that didn't do video work, but I fell in love with the Panasonic series, and so I got the GH2. We got done. That was about a 40-minute film, and people liked it. It was cute. It was quirky, but with like all of our projects, I'll look back now and look at it and go, well, it was rough around the edges. Definitely rough around the edges. So then we moved on and said, you know what? We were excited. We did some stuff. Let's really stretch our wings out there a little bit. And we found a script called Whatever the Cost, and it was a persecuted church story, written by a gentleman named Adam Gee. And met him and his wife later. And wonderful, wonderful people. Very talented writer, and very emotional film that we did. And this one, we could not hide our my lack of cinematography background. We really needed to make sure that we shot this and the best we could. We had outdoor scenes, we had indoor scenes, we had chase scenes, racing. We had three different scenes, like one scene that took place in three different physical locations, and we had to seamlessly get that cut and make it look like it was all one scene. And I'm really proud of the opening scene in that movie. Actually, I think we did such a good job on that. Couple indoor scenes I'm not so good with because we didn't do any set dressing, so they're very bland, and we're just kind of shot against a white wall, and it's supposed to be prison, so that can be excuses, right? Anyway, That film actually was accepted at a film festival called the Christians Churches Making Movies. That's what it's Churches Making Movies Film Festival, and that was back east in New Jersey, and we got accepted to be shown there. So we actually went back east to um, show the movie, and we won an award. Now, I will be honest, that award was the Spirit Award, and that was for the film that best espoused Christian values, if you will. So it's all writing. That's all on Adam. Adam did a fantastic job. I mean, we did changes to his script, and I'm sure he kind of cringed and was like, "Ugh, why did they change that?" Well, we had to go with the actors that we had, and had to kind of go our own way. But we tried to stay to the heart of his story. So ours actually takes place in the future, as if in America we have lost our religious freedoms. Anyway, moving on. So again, we're really excited that was going. At the very end of that film, I actually ordered a new camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and it shot RAW. So I shot a few things on my own, just to kind of learn how to shoot RAW. And Easter was right around the corner, so we used that momentum, that excitement, and we created another film called short, actually, called What is Truth? We found that one online. It was only about 7 minutes long. It was about Pontius Pilate. And after the crucifixion and resurrection, and what he may have been going through his mind at the time. And so we shot that with the Blackmagic, OG Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Again, I thought it came out pretty good, especially for shooting outdoors at the river, high noon, dealing with the shadows and the sun and bounces and reflections and things like that. I thought it was fine. Again, not Hollywood style, but it was passable. It was good. So then we said, well, we've got this Blackmagic. We've learned how to kind of use it. Let's do another full featured film, but let's go outside our comfort zone. We're going to make a comedy that is not Christian based. It's not based on the church or anything like that. Everything prior had all been church based and very churchy. We wanted to reach out into the community and get people involved that may not be in the church or may not know about us. And so we wrote, that was the other thing, is that we wrote this one. All the other ones we didn't have the rights to sell. So one of the agreements with all the writers was that we would not try to profit off the movies. We wouldn't be selling them in mass market selling and distributing and things like that. And we would get donations if people wanted to donate it, or they could get it for free. So, and any of the donations that we got all went back into the film ministry to try to do the next film, to purchase some more lights or audio equipment or whatever. Maybe buy food. That was one thing we tried to always do, is buy food for the cast and crew. Usually it was donated, and we would purchase it, or somebody would purchase it and then donate it. Anyway, so we created wrote a film called This Is Different, and it was different. This one is where we really met some talented people outside our little circle. This was about a rural father whose daughter is coming back from college and is meeting, she has a boyfriend, and they are meeting him, and she wants the permission for him to ask to marry. Basically, he's asking permission to marry the daughter. He's a city boy. He has no clue about anything rural life, and the dad is dead set against it. I know there are people out there who know this side of the dynamics. So we tried to be comedic about it. We tried to tell a story that showed that, well, we tried to give a story that showed growth from a father's perspective, a rural father's perspective. Like, yes, we can have our values, and we can give those values over to our children, and our, and they may still have those values. They may still hold true to those values, but it doesn't mean that those values are going to look exactly how we envision. But we were really blessed to have some good actors in this one. The main actress, Alex Horton, she was phenomenal. She was perfect for the part. She had the quirkiness, the ruralness, but the playfulness. She was so good in this. I was so proud to work with her, and I wish we could have do more work in the future with her. Then we had a gentleman who fell into our laps because we just could not find the right father figure, and an actress that we had talked with and had signed on as a friend to the main character, who was also she's hysterical. She's great. I really wish we could have done a movie around her. She's funny, but she had mentioned that her uncle might be interested in doing it, and we brought him in, and his name was Craig. And this man is talented. He is faithful. He is a joy to have on set, and paired along another actor by the name of Levi. Those two just they just own the screen, if you will. They really own the screen well together. They play with it. They play off of each other. They have the same likes, the same dislikes in a way. I mean, so in this film, they're brothers, and the father Craig enlists his brother's help to scare off this city boy from wanting to marry his daughter. Um, it was very well received. I'm very happy with how that movie turned out. I felt like it was the closest thing that we'd done to cinema that was cinematic. Um, Something that I'd be proud to put up on my shelf. I've got the poster up there, and I was very happy with that one. We came out of that one just grinning ear to ear. We're like, we're doing this. This is good stuff. And then we said, okay, so now we've got this nice crew. We've got Craig and Levi. Let's build something around them, and let's do something that has a message. So our next film we did was called The Field. And this one started out about a human trafficking storyline. Kind of before all the human trafficking stuff really started to make the news. We wrote this, and I really struggled writing this one because I was doing the research and reading things, and stuff just hurt to read about this human trafficking stuff. I struggled to write that one a lot. I wanted to be realistic. I wanted to gut punch people, but I get pushback sometimes with it because we are a church. We're making things not from Jerry per se. Um, Jerry always wants to try to push the envelope with what we're doing and get messages out there. And so struggled to write this one because it's the human trafficking is such a nightmare, and we can't even understand. I can't comprehend the stories that I've read. But anyway, so we wrote this, and it started as a human trafficking thing where a detective has his daughter at a young age. She disappears, and now 10 years later, a new kidnapping case lands on his desk, and it really brings forth the horrors that he's missing his daughter. He's never found her, and he learns about he gets involved in finding out about human trafficking. But it kind of morphed itself a little bit as the human trafficking was the vehicle. It was the pushing point to a redemption story for the main character. And the main character in this was played by Craig, and his partner was played by Levi again. And actually, in this one, we got Craig's wife Candy to join, and she was so good. Also, you could just see the chemistry between the two on screen. It worked really well. But it was a redemption story of a man who lost his faith, and his faith. We have our faith, and then sometimes some of us have our faith because we think we're getting something out of it, and at the end, he's learning that his faith is what he got was great. He has grace, and that should be enough to carry us through our faith. We have grace, and God will take care of the rest somehow, some way. We don't, and it allows him to recover and move on. That was a very hard production to do. It always felt. We started in, I think, 2019, we started writing in 2018. I believe we started shooting in 2019. And it was one thing after another, just stopping production, holding up production, causing production issues. COVID hit, and COVID was such a tough time, and the isolation and the break from everybody that I knew, the friends, we couldn't get together. Some were, had lost family members and things, and it was a nightmare time. And so we did not get an opportunity to really do post production together as a team on that one. So I really let all of that really dragged me down, and I did not get the movie out until like 2023 into the theaters, well past when it should have been released. Um, but it did well here locally. The Douglas County Human Trafficking Task Force saw the movie, loved it, and asked to um, do a few events, about I think 3 or 4 events at the theater. They purchased out a theater room, and we gave out tickets for people to come see, and all the tickets were given away. And it was well received, very happy. And then things came up, and we couldn't get the Blu-ray and DVDs out until around Christmas this year. So this has really caused a huge damper, if you will, on our growth. Um, there it feels a lack of air underneath our wings now. We've kind of crashed, and we were sailing pretty high. We had so much momentum, and now the excitement is pretty much dispersed. It's gone, and that's okay. You know, I can't blame anyone or anything other than myself for this. So I started this streaming project with my buddy Cake over at Cake in the Cave, and we are still trying to find our legs. What do we want to be? I want to do gaming stuff. That's fine, and I want to stream and chat with get involved with chat, and I really hope we can start building up a rapport with people in chat, and I think that'll be good. You know, play the games that chat wants to see or help with, or see me fail at and laugh at me and all that. But the creativity's missing for me, and you know, my day job is a programmer, and so um, while I can be creative in a programming sense, it's from a business perspective. I'm creating things for business. I'm not creating things artistic, and I really would like to do that artistic creation again. So I am doing a project now. I'm going to try to do a project with my wife, Gina. We are going to try to make a film that is 1 or 2 person, 2 actors, so that we can just keep it in our family. I will have our sons or whatever do various things, and we will take the time needed to make this film, but we will keep it a small circle. That way we don't, you know, if some people want to help, they hear it and they want to help, cool. You know, they can come in. But I'm going to try to keep it from being such a big production that wears everybody out. And what are we going to write? That's the problem. I don't have an idea in my head yet for a 1 or 2 person film. I can't quite come at it. So I thought, well, let's try Chat GPT. So part of the experience is going to be you watching me develop a script with Chat GPT. Now this whole adventure is going to be pre-production, production, filming, and then post-production work. I will try to, when I'm working on things, I'll stream it and cut it, and maybe some movie editors or whatever will get on here and be like, oh my gosh, you're the worst. Yeah, maybe. This is the way it works for me. I don't work in Hollywood, but this is how I get my stuff done. So, like I said, this is my second attempt at this stream because I messed up the audio the first time. So this is going to go a little faster. It's not going to quite be 45 minutes like the first one because I have my Chat GPT up. So let's switch over to that now. Okay, and now you can see the things that I've done, and we'll just kind of talk through it. So, like I said, we're going to use the Chat GPT to kind of try to get me some ideas on scripts. Here, make that a little bigger. Chat can see that. How's that? We will bust this out. Try to get some ideas humming. I've already saved a few off, but I'll read back through these again, and I'll try to give you what my thought process is as we went through it. And then once we pick the idea, then we're going to use ChatGPT again to kind of flesh out the various plot points throughout to get us to that hour and a half. If this ends up being something that I can tell it drags, it's not an hour and a half worth of comedy or a script in there, we'll cut it down to a short and go from there. But we're looking for a single location, minimal set design, minimal costumes. I mean, if we have to get costumes, no big deal, but we don't want to go all crazy. And you'll see in here where I cut a few things out. So started off with ChatGPT saying, can you give me an idea for 1 or 2 actor film that's the genre of comedy and horror? And ChatGPT came back with this, The Haunted Roommate. And I I kind of dig this one. Bustling city, Alex, a laid-back and carefree college student, desperately seeking a new roommate to share the rent in their rundown apartment. I don't have a rundown apartment, but we'll figure something out. After several failed attempts, Alex finally finds a potential roommate named Sam through an online listing. And Sam seems perfect at first glance, polite, quiet, and tidy. However, there's one small detail Alex missed in the listing. Sam did not mention that they're a ghost. Initially, Alex is oblivious to Sam's spectral nature, attributing the odd occurrences that are happening in the apartment to the quirks of the old plumbing and faulty wiring. But as the days pass, Alex starts to notice increasingly eerie happenings, objects moving on their own, strange whispers in the dead of the night, and mysterious shadows lurking in the corners. Despite this supernatural activity, Alex decides to embrace the situation, finding humor in the absurdity of having a ghost for a roommate. And they strike up an unconventional friendship with Alex, even teaching Sam the ins and outs of modern life and pop culture. However, things take a darker turn when Alex learns the truth about Sam's untimely demise and the malevolent forces that keep them tethered to the earthly realm. And with the help of their newfound friendship, Alex must confront the ghostly entity and find a way to break Sam free from its grips before it is too late. As the tensions mount, the film will seamlessly blend comedy with a spine-tingling horror, keeping audiences on the edge of their seats while delivering plenty of laughs along the way. The Haunted Roommate is a unique and thrilling ride that proves sometimes the scariest things come with a little sense of humor. I really like this idea. I think we could build something around this with all these little odd occurrences and things and build up some horror. One of the things I don't do in this one, and I will do probably on another one if this is the one we choose, is I don't ask it to expound on what the truth is about Sam's untimely demise. Where is the horror in there? We can figure that out as we go along. Get some ideas and go, ooh, I like that idea, right? The script will be helped along by ChatGPT, but it's not going to be written by ChatGPT. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So then I said, can you give me a different idea, though? Now, here's where we get a little weird. It comes up with the Curse of the Cursed Clown. I will tell you right now, Gina will not help me on a clown movie. So this one is X'd right out of the box. I read through it. I'll leave it here for a second. Chat, if you want to come back and pause this and take a look for your own good, knock yourself out. But I even yelled out to Gina, I said, would you do this movie? And she said, no. So we're going to move on and try it without any clowns. So we get the ghostly getaway. In the tranquil countryside, Sarah, a stressed out workaholic, decides to take a much needed solo vacation to a remote bed and breakfast nestled deep in the woods. Eager to escape the pressures of city life, Sarah arrives at the picturesque inn only to discover that she's the sole guest for the weekend. Interesting. I like it. 2 actors, probably. The inn person, the one that runs the bed and breakfast, and Sarah. As she settles in the cozy room, she begins to notice peculiar occurrences. There's flickering lights, a cold draft, faint whispers echoing through the corridors. Initially, she dismisses these as figments of her overactive imagination, and Sarah soon realizes, though, she is not alone in this inn. It is haunted. Unfazed by the supernatural presence, Sarah decides to make most of her vacation and strikes up an unlikely friendship with the resident ghost. He is named George, and he haunts this bread and breakfast. They embark on a series of comical misadventures, from pranking the inn's eccentric owner to exploring the hidden secrets of the surrounding forest. Now, we could do this as an Airbnb, so the owner wouldn't even be seen. It could be they trick them over a phone and whatever. I don't know. However, their escapades take a sinister turn when she discovers the truth about his untimely demise and the dark secret that binds him to the inn. Turns out George's spirit is trapped by a curse that can only be broken by solving the mystery of his death. I like it. I'm feeling this one too, and I think I copied this one out, and we'll, if Gina likes it or if chat likes it, this will be the one we go with. I don't know. So, determined to help her spectral friend find peace, Sarah teams up with a quirky local hysteria named Dr. Amelia to unravel the secrets of the inn's past. There, we run into a little bit of a problem. Now we've gone from 2 actors to the innkeeper to a 4th actress. I think I can make that work. That's fine. But we'll see. Their investigating leads them down a twisting path of family feuds, hidden treasure, and long-buried secrets, all while dodging the mischievous antics of George's ghostly companions. As the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, Sarah and Dr. Amelia find themselves racing against time to lift the curse and free George's spirit before it's too late. Along the way, they discover the true power of friendship, laughter, and the unexpected magic that comes with embracing life's little mysteries. The ghostly Complete Getaway is a heartwarming yet hilarious spooky comedy that proves sometimes the best adventures are the ones you least suspect, with laughs, scares, and heartwarming moments along the way. So, I like this script a lot. I like this idea. I think we could work with this. I do see an issue where we're going to have to go to different set locations, different places, and that makes this more difficult. So we move on. These are great, but can we get ideas without ghosts or clowns? Here comes the next one. Alien Encounters Area 50 Wonderful. Now this one goes into an alien one, and I liked the beginning of this, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short a little bit because I actually don't keep this one. Let me see. Do I keep this one? Hold on a second. Let me see if I kept this one. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. Film ideas. No, I did not keep this one. And the reason I did not keep this one is specifically because it's a UFO crash. And it takes you to Area 51, and there's scientists, and it got way too complicated, and we can't have complicated. So I skipped it. So we said, let's try a different idea, but let's not do it at Area 51, but with the aliens. And we had Cosmic Collision Course. And again, started looking at this one, and same thing. This one, we get sucked into a spaceship, and off we go. So now I got to build a spaceship set. I have a friend of mine who I'm so bad with names. Nonevent. He makes films also, and he has done a few caveman movies. Elijah Nonevent, very talented. He's very, very talented himself. And he's been doing some caveman called UGG, and UGG 1 and UGG 2, UGG 3. And he, I think, did something with the inside of a spaceship and did a pretty good job with that. But I don't have the resources at the moment to do that, and I don't really want to. So I said, can we try a different idea that doesn't need extravagant set designs? And then they said The Creature from the Suburbs. And I believe that, again, this one had a colorful cast of characters and just too many people. And I said, let's try something else. And then we got The Cryptid Caper. And again, I believe it needed to be... I said, let's try the alien idea. I want to go back to the aliens, and we're going to do one location. And this was Alien at the Farmhouse. And this one, again, sounded pretty nice. But people, again, brought more people in. Alien hunters and a skeptical sheriff, and so again, it was just the amount of people involved was starting to grow. So we said, can we try this again with only 2 actors? And we got Stranded Together. Is this the one I have? Yep. This is the one I decided to keep, and we're going to keep looking into it. So, in a remote farmhouse nestled among the rolling hills and vast fields, Hank, a grizzled retired farmer, spends his days in solitude, content with the simplicity of life, of rural life. However, his peaceful routine is shattered when a UFO crash lands in his cornfield one stormy night, leaving behind a stranded extraterrestrial named Zix. Now, one of the big issues I have with the alien stories is, how do we do the alien? Do we do a costumed alien that looks cheesy, or do we do an alien where we use our budget on one special effect and then the alien kind of transforms and morphs into human and we keep it like Resident Alien or something like that, right? We could do something. So, with only each other for company, Hank and Zix must navigate their differences and work together to survive until help arrives. Despite the language barrier and their vastly different backgrounds, the 2 form a bond as they share their stories, fears, and hopes for the future. And as Zix awaits rescue, Hank teaches Zix the ways of farm life, tending the crops, fixing fences, etc., while Zix introduces Hank to the alien technology and the mysteries of the universe. Together, they embark on a series of misadventures, from fending off curious wildlife. Not sure I'd film that, but not gonna let that slow me down here. To outsmarting a group of bumbling alien hunters who stumble upon their hiding place. Again, alien hunters, but if I find 2 or 3 people to do it, I think I could pull it off. But as the day turns into weeks and their bond deepens, Hank and Zix must confront their prejudices and fears, learning valuable lessons about acceptance, friendship, and the true meaning of home. Stranded Together is a heartwarming and humorous tale of unlikely friendship and the power of human connection set against the backdrop of their tranquil countryside. With only 2 actors, the film explores the depth of the characters' relationship as they navigate the challenges. So then I went, you know what? That's fine. I like it. It's in my top 3, and I've only got 3 so far. So I said, let's start again. A comedy mystery with 2 actors based in a single location with minimal set design needed. And then we got this one, The Case of the Missing Cookie Jar. Plot summary. In a cozy suburban home, two longtime friends, Lucy and Max, gather for their weekly game night. However, their evening takes an unexpected turn when Lucy's prized cookie jar, which was filled with her famous homemade cookies, mysteriously has disappeared. Determined to crack this case wide open, Lucy and Max transform their game night into a full-fledged investigation, complete with makeshift detective hats and magnifying glasses. As they search each nook and cranny of the house for clues, they discover a web of suspects from the nosy next-door neighbor to the family dog with a penchant for mischief. And with each new clue they discover, Lucy and Max find themselves embroiled in a series of comical mishaps and wild theories, from interrogating household appliances, I love that idea, to staging elaborate stakeouts in the living room. But as their investigation leads them deeper into the heart of the mystery, Lucy and Max realize that the true culprit may be closer than they think. And in a surprising twist, they uncover the real reason behind the missing cookie jar, and a revelation that brings them closer together and proves that sometimes the sweetest mysteries are solved by the power of friendship. The Case of the Missing Cookie Jar is a hilarious and heartwarming comedy that celebrates the joys of friendship and the thrill of solving a good mystery, all within the confines of a single location. With its witty banter, clever clues, and unexpected twists, this film promises to keep audiences guessing until the end. I like it. This got me into thinking that the comedy mystery would be the way to go. So we expounded on that a bit. Let's see if they can just give me something slightly different. And they went with a quaint suburban bungalow. Lifelong friends Alice and Ben gather for a regular game night. However, the evening of friendly competition takes a dramatic turn when her prized board game collection, including her rare and valuable vintage games, vanishes without a trace. So I didn't read much more of this the first time because I was like, well, it's okay. I scrolled through. I like the cookie jar idea. It seemed more funnier in a way. Like they're even investigating the missing cookie jar. This one actually, it's a prized board game collection that's worth money. Okay, yeah. So I said, well, okay, who's the culprit in this actual story? And it came out and said that the culprit behind the prized board game collection could be revealed. As Alice and Ben continue their investigation, they uncover various clues that point to different suspects, including their competitive neighbor, the mysterious stranger, and even each other. But as they dig deeper, they find out it's Alice's own brother. He's been envious of Alice's success and attention to her hobbies and plots to steal and sell her valuable, her valuable game collection. Oops. Just kind of rearranging over here, guys, and try to make a quick profit off of it. And I went, what? Let's go back to the cookie one. Who was the missing cookie jar culprit? And it said it's revealed to be Lucy's mischievous cat, Whiskers. And I thought, that's funny. That's pretty funny. Throughout the investigation, they integrate various suspects, blah, blah, blah. But what happened? Whiskers knocked the cookie jar over and hid it behind the sofa while chasing a stray mouse. Thought that's pretty unique. Could play with that a little bit. Big issue I have is, how do I film that? I need to kind of wrap my head around filming a cat chasing. I mean, I've got lots of cats around here. We can stage them and chase them and make them do their thing. No problemo. But in my head, I'm going to have to shot list that out to make it look like that happened. Or something in that respect, like a dream flashback or something, right? But then I said, okay, let's try a different culprit. And this kind of hit pretty good. Of course, here's a different twist for the case of the missing cookie jar. As Lucy and Max investigate the disappearance of the cookie jar, they initially suspect the various family members, etc. However, they stumble upon an unsuspected clue, crumbs leading to their backyard. And when they follow it, they discover the real culprit is Lucy's mischievous younger sibling, Timmy. He was unable to resist the temptations of Lucy's delicious cookies, snuck into the kitchen late at night, took the entire jar to share with his friends during a backyard campout. Surprised by the revelation, Lucy and Max confront Timmy, who sheepishly admits to his actions. Though initially upset, Lucy and Max can't help but laugh at the innocence of Timmy's intentions, and in the end they decide to turn the incident into a learning experience, teaching Timmy the importance of asking permissions and sharing. And with the mystery solved, the cookie jar returned, Lucy, Max, and Timmy continue their game night with a newfound sense of camaraderie and a few extra laughs along the way. And that is one that I thought, that is probably the first one out of all of these that I thought we could do that. So that's where I left it at tonight, chat. Is I'm going to come back and do this again, and we will kind of listen to or do a few more, try a few more comedy mysteries at a single location, see if we can get something other than the missing cookie jar, something. But I liking that idea. I still have yet to talk to Gina to see what she feels on it. Hopefully she'll be here with us on the next one so we can spitball back and forth, throw out ideas on what to ask ChatGPT, and it's not just me. So thank you guys for joining me tonight on this journey. We are going to stop for now. So let's pop back over here. We are going to stop for now. It I'm pretty impressed with what GPT can do. Again, I don't want it to write the whole script for us. I probably will, once we have this, do like, can you give me synopsis, or we'll get some arcs, some ideas for each arc in the story to try to fill in. Get me some bullet points to write the script around. And then once we get to the script writing, I will share the script writing up on the screen, and we will spend an hour a week writing the script, maybe 2 hours, I don't know. But we will do something. I am going to document this journey, and hopefully we will build an audience together who can help. Maybe you, chat, will have some input into this, and we will make this a community type story. So thank you so much. Let's Skol, gamers, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.